Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Tie the Natural Experience podcast, where we talk about lots of juicy topics and controversial subjects. So, for episode number 2, we are going to be having a very juicy conversation with one of my girls, Sandra, Dr. Sandra. So, we are about to bring her into the studio right now so we can get into this topic. So help me welcome Dr. Smallwood. Hey,
Hi.
Sarah.
How are you?
Can't hear you though.
Wait, you can't hear me? Okay.
Hold on. Me.
Wait, I'm not on mute. You still can't hear me? Audio, let me see. You can hear me? Yeah? Okay. I can't hear you. You're on mute.
Technical difficulties.
Always. It's just like those things just never fail.
Never. I promise. Okay, so
I like your background. Looks like you have a dead polar bear back there. It's so furry.
I stole his fur.
Right. I was like, dang.
I love fur though. I think I like this gray smoke going on, and I wanted like some white fur to go on top of it. So, yeah. So I'm so happy you're here.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Sandra.
No, keep going. I'll ask you after.
Okay. So I'm so happy that you are here, and I'm super excited to have this conversation with you. So our title today is, do women really want a superior man, but they preach equality? So before we get into it, I'm going to read you off a few traits of what a superior man is.
Okay.
So according to the research, it says a superior man is self-sufficient, independent, self-reliant, and they also went on to say a superior man seeks within himself, but when it comes to an ordinary man, he tends to seek what's in others.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too.
Yeah, that is interesting.
And then another thing that I found was some more traits. So beyond successful and respected. Now, I feel like some of these could be a superior man, but I don't feel like he has to have all of these. So I just took some of them.
Okay.
He's happy. He understands his limitations. Highly educated, and not more of like college or degrees, but more of like wisdom. Like, how much wisdom have you obtained over the years that you've been on this earth? What have you really learned? And then hard skills versus soft skills. So let me just explain that just for the audience. So hard skills are what make you qualified for the position. And then soft skills would be what actually helped you nail that interview. So hopefully that makes sense. That made sense to you, right, Sandra?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. And then
so many thoughts are like coming to my mind right now.
well, let them out. I can continue to go down the line.
No, keep going. Okay. Right. Let's get the definitions in.
Okay.
Set the foundation.
Got you. Okay, so he also can speak art. So when they say that, they don't mean like art on a wall or display. They meant like basically what he's talking about, everybody understands it. So it's like almost like an art to their ears.
Okay, like charisma.
Yeah. It's basically art is everything that makes you feel something.
Okay, that's sexy. The sexy part.
Yes. So those are my traits that I took. So was there any of those that like stood out to you?
So I have so many thoughts about things like that. Okay. Because all right, so I spent a long time in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
8 years. So the guys like say like a black man or whatever, any man, they when they spend a lot of time um I'm sorry. She's like, it's an ad, it's a commercial. Okay.
Get it off. Get it off.
So when they spend a lot of time like say in school or on their whatever it is they work in, because I mean now you don't really have to go to college to be successful, which I think is awesome.
Right.
They tend to have a certain air to them,
Okay.
as in kind of how they act. Like, okay, like when you think about someone who like a superior man, you're just like, okay, yes, I want my man to do this for me. I want him to be like this. Like, I think
Right.
that's what all women want until you actually talk to him and you're like, dang, he talked about himself the whole time. Or,
Mhm.
he's self-centered, or his expectations are crazy high. But then
Mhm.
again, if you worked hard on yourself, why shouldn't they be crazy high, right?
Right. Right.
So like when you think about, sometimes it makes me think about athletes. Like there's a lot of very successful African American men athletes who are fine and
Mm-hmm.
they have all these great traits. And then, when they marry like a stripper or something, it's just kind of like, hmm. Hmm. Like,
Oh,
it's like, wait a minute, wait
like
a
I
minute.
needed to be on a pole.
It's like, wait a minute, wait a minute. So I think there's just a lot of ways to think about it. Just men, because okay, when you talk about like masculine and feminine,
Mm-hmm.
like men really like a lady to be super feminine, kind of submissive, and everything like that.
Right.
But it's like women who have worked hard and like are educated or are really big on making money have there's like a fine line. Like your masculine comes out so often.
Yes.
Um so I think sometimes it makes you kind of want the equality
Mm-hmm.
because you're just like, dang, like this dude over here just doesn't appreciate, like they want all this like sexiness out of me. They care about how I look all the time, but I've been working all day. I don't want to be sexy at night every time. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm like all over the place. There's so many like thoughts about this.
It's okay. It's okay. There was something you said that I wanted to piggyback off of you. But the masculine thing. So I will agree with you with that because my husband has said to me, like, you're being too masculine. I'm like, I'm like, how? I'm like, I can't help it. Like I try to do better, but you know what? I honestly feel like it comes from being a single mom because we bring out the
You
masculinity more than
have
a
to.
woman who don't have children or is not a single mom. You know what I mean?
You're
Because
mama bear
we're used
all the
to
time.
being, yeah, we're used to doing everything. We're used to doing all of that type of stuff. So it's so easy for me to be more masculine in that type of thing, independent. And do you understand where I'm coming from,
Yeah,
Sandra?
girl.
Yes.
Yes, totally. With this little 2-year-old I have. I mean, even though her and me and her dad co-parent very well, it's still like he still needs me to tell him about like the things she needs to get done in school and things like that. I'm like, can I just like not? Can you do that yourself? So I have a question. So when you think about a superior man, do you think that he would understand the masculine, feminine, like the difference? Like you think that he would live very enough in his masculinity to let a woman be feminine? Because I feel like in relationships,
Mhm.
women tend to get masculine when a man does something where she has to bring it out. Like if you're not gonna do the right thing, then what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna step up because that's just what we do. Especially when you're a
Right.
mom, you step up. You're naturally that way, right?
True.
Do you think a superior man would understand that, or what do you think?
Um, it kind of plays into my other question, but I feel like it depends on the individual. You know what I mean? Because I don't feel like all superior men are the same. I don't feel like they all act the same, which makes me ask, like, couldn't a woman be superior just like the man? Why can't both coexist? Why can't the woman be superior and the man be superior without one feeling like one is above the other? You know what I mean?
Like when you say that, okay, because like I told you, I was reading the book.
Yes.
I've been reading The Way of the Superior Man.
Yes. Show it, girl.
And so one of his like main things is, in order to have like a sexual connection or like a really connection between a man and a woman, or a woman and a woman, or a man and a man, either way, there has to be a feminine and a masculine. Right. So in a sense of a man and a woman, if they were both considered quote unquote superior, does that mean that they're both, you know, is that more of like a masculine thing? Do you think superior is more like I'm masculine, aka superior, or
not necessarily, because there can still be women in high positions. That doesn't make them masculine, you know. They can be very feminine. You know, and just like this article said, they say women are better leaders than men. That's, you know, that's what's been said. We're more empathetic. We show sympathy.
Okay, so if a woman is out there, say like Rachel Rogers, I love her, CEO of Hello 7, and so her husband stays at home.
Okay.
Because I think they have like 3 or 4 kids.
Okay.
You know, because you know, I mean, of course, I mean, he does a lot. I mean, when you stay at home, you do a lot of things still, right?
Right.
Like finances.
You still be building a business at home.
He does all that like back stuff. So would you think that he is, so maybe, so you could say they're both superior, but is he more in like the feminine role? Because she is heading the company and, you know, being that leader that she is? Like, what? Or then it's like, or is it like you go to work and you're superior, but you come home, or you go to work and you're masculine, and you come home and you live in that feminine?
I feel like if a man is at home, that's awesome. He's taking care of the kids. But I feel like he should definitely be doing something else than just being at home. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's more of a woman's role. You know what I mean? Being at home with the children, nurturing the children. I feel like that's more of a woman's role. I mean, technically, in the olden times, which are more modern now, that's what women were doing. We were sitting at home with the children all day. But then, you know, we wanted to do other things. We didn't want to sit at home anymore. We wanted to get a job. We wanted to be able to vote. We wanted to have a voice. So
when you say that, when you ask, can a woman and a man both be like live in their superiority? What does that look like in your mind? What does that look like? Like, does that look like they're both going to work, being big bosses, and
that's kind of what I'm thinking, because when they describe a superior man, he like has all the status. He has like he has, you know, a whole resume of all these things that he's done or accomplished, or what he has to offer. And I just feel like a woman should be able to stand against that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like she should be overshadowed by this man's qualifications or everything that he's acquired. So for me, back to your question, I feel like, yes, it would be both of us going to a job, both of us, you know, leading a high position. I don't know who would make more money. You know, we would both make pretty good money. Um, but that's how I feel. I feel like a superior woman, superior man, they're kind of at the same playing field in my eyes. But just because a woman isn't where the guy is, I don't feel like, that should make her less of a woman. You know what I mean?
For sure. For sure. No, I totally agree about that. Especially if they're married.
Right.
I mean,
Such as me.
huh?
I said such as me.
Exactly. So how do you define your marriage when it comes to this?
I feel like
Okay.
we're on the same playing field. You know what I mean? Um but like he started off, in a very difficult situation. So coming out of that, I feel like he has definitely made himself way more superior than where he began. You know what I mean? Because everybody makes mistakes, everybody do things, and just seeing his growth and elevation, like definitely superior, like in my eyes. And what I have to bring to the table, I definitely feel superior. Um, myself, I just like being in a leadership type of role anyway. That's just my personality.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely feel like now we are both superior. But when we first got married, I feel like I was more superior just because he was really just finding himself. You know what I mean? And coming out of a traumatic experience. So
Yeah, I feel you. No, that's good. I mean, especially when you're in a marriage and you grow together. Like,
yes. And that's how I feel it should be. We should be growing together. And that's why I feel like what I don't know if anyone came in, but that's why I feel like if a man is superior and a woman is not technically that or doesn't feel like she's superior because maybe she's still working on herself or maybe she's still developing things within herself, what would make someone just automatically want a superior man? Like, especially if you're not even working on yourself, you know? Like I feel like there should be a balance there.
what do you think? Yeah, what does a woman think that they bring to the table? Like to want? Because I mean, I feel like women, no matter kind of how much they make or what they're doing, if they're sitting on the couch, they still want us that man, right? Like, and to me, that brings me back to the whole stripper point because it's always like perplexing to me. I mean, yeah, they're beautiful. I'm not saying it's easy to be a stripper or anything like that. Like, by all means, I think that has to be a very hard thing to do.
Yeah, it does. You're showing
But
your body to the whole world. I couldn't do it.
but it's like I guess what I think about it is it's something you can do when you're younger, and
Hmm.
at some point you reach a point where you can't really do that anymore. I guess the same as athlete. You just
Right.
get older. You have to do something else. So I mean, I guess if you're in a position like that and you're like investing on the side, or you're doing other things on the side, then to me, I mean, that makes a difference, right?
Right.
Like
Right.
that's what matters in the long run. Like,
Right.
what are both people bringing to the table?
Right.
And I think that brings in like the whole like employment versus relationship thing of like the superiority part, right?
Hmm.
Like, well, like you do what you do with being an entrepreneur or going to work,
Hmm.
and then your husband does the same thing, but when you come together, you do something else, or it's a different dynamic. Right? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I don't know. It's like when I think about, say, like the relationship that I'm in right now,
Hmm.
like I see it as, okay. I was reading this article, which kind of describes it. Like women, like say when you date,
Hmm.
like women want like a guy to initiate, like ask you on a date,
Hmm.
call you all the time, open doors,
Mm-hmm.
propose. Did you propose or did he propose?
He proposed.
Yes. And then so that happens, and then we get into this relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and you still like, what do I want to say? Like sometimes you want to be equal, but then
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you want the man to continue to do that. Like you want him to continue to play that like superior role.
Mm-hmm.
When you were dating, we
Mm-hmm.
don't play that. We don't. It's not like the woman is playing a superior role, the man is playing a superior role. The woman wants the man to play that superior role. We want to fall back, right?
Right.
When we get married, we don't want that. We want, okay, you do you, I do me. We live together and we have a life together.
Mm-hmm. We
You know,
built
so
together.
are we like lying to ourselves? Like, is it
No, I
possible?
think it goes back to what you said when we were talking earlier, how women don't lie. We tell you how we feel at that moment, and then 10 minutes it can change. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that comes full circle with that. I feel like that falls right into that. Like I was talking to somebody and they were telling me how, their wife um, may have felt that you were around too often, or maybe we're spending too much time together.
Mhm.
And then um, now that you gave them that time, now they're like, okay, we're like at first they wanted you to be around, right? They wanted you to be around. They wanted that time, and now it's like, I don't want to be bothered. We're around each other too much, and now it's got the guy thinking like, well, at first you told me that you wanted more time, and now you don't want more time. I'm being around you too much. You need your space.
Yeah.
Which also I can play into that because my husband used to say the same thing about me before I actually developed something else, like put my focus into something else, which is entrepreneurship. So I used to just be very clingy to him, and I'm still clingy. Like I love to be around my husband.
Yeah.
Um, it was just like I would be in his man cave. I would be up in there, girl, like waiting on man
Laying
cave.
on his lap.
We in there watching whatever he watching. I'm listening to his music. And then at that time, he was like, Bet, why don't you find you something to do? Why don't you find you a hobby or something? Because, I like to have my little me time. And I'm like, man, I'm in here. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be in here listening to the music. I'll be here watching TV. And of course this was Lord. This was like 5 years ago or so.
Wait, how long have you guys been married?
Gonna be 9 years next year.
Okay, congratulations.
So 8.5 years now.
Awesome. Nice.
So during that time I was like, why do you want me to find something else? Like I'm perfectly fine, being up under you, seeing what you're doing.
Right. You
So
married me.
yeah. So I'm like, what the so now that I'm where I'm at now, 5 years later, now he'd be like, Bet, can we do this together? Or can I get some time? Or do you got time today? Or I would like to spend time with you. I need some more time. And I'm like, geez, you just told me I was around too much. You said you needed some time. Now you want more time. I'm like,
Right. I got stuff to
I
do.
can't win from losing. Now that I found me something to do,
Right.
now you want more time.
Right. So when you think about that, then now that you are like, I got things going on.
Mm-hmm.
So you would you say that you feel like you said before, you said he at first you were more superior, and then he did what he needed to do.
Right.
He was a man. He did what he needed to do.
Right.
And now, do you feel like because you guys are both in that superior role, like you would want to take a step back?
Do I feel like I want to take a step back?
Yeah, like if say if he
Superior?
because he wants more time. Do you think you guys can find a happy medium, or you would end up taking a step back?
No, I would have to find a happy medium.
Yeah.
Because it's possible. It's just all in what you do in your 24 hours. So that's why I just been being very intentional lately about my list, my to-do list, and what I need to be getting done on that day, and stick to it and execute. Because it's like I can talk till I'm blue in the face, but what are you doing? What are your actions showing? And it's like I have to do more. I have to execute more. So those are things that I know I have to work on. So and just like that harmonious work and home life, they say balance, but then they're like, there's not a balance. It's like supposed to be a harmony. I don't know. These strategists be changing what they say. I can't keep up, but I definitely feel like it's challenging, but it can definitely be done, because there's so many successful people that do it now.
Yes. I mean, shoot, I feel like a lot of those successful people have help, lots of help. I think that makes a big difference.
Oh yeah, help does. Like delegating, like tasks and stuff.
Having someone to do the laundry, clean the house.
Yes, most definitely. I agree. And girl, as soon as God, opens my abundance, I'm definitely gonna be having some help.
Girl, me too. I'm like, look, I don't want to do one more load of laundry.
Girl, oh my goodness. I'm telling you.
Well, I want to say, like, since I'm in, like, you've been married a long time. Mm-hmm. As like me being in a newer relationship, like we've been dating for a matter of months. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot about like a kind of man that I want. Like, he is very much like a go-getter, hustler type, works a lot and everything like that. And I like that.
Right.
But he doesn't have like this super high education. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so like when I talk to people, mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I went to school for a long time and everything like that, but it's whatever. But when I talk to people, they're always like, so is he in the medical field? Or, is it this? Or is he like a lawyer or something? I'd be like,
they automatically assume
like, no,
that he went to school for a whole bunch of years because you did.
Right. And so I think to myself, wait, are people assuming that is more superior than a man that makes sure, like, who works hard, invests and things like that? It always makes me feel like,
I don't feel it is.
Am I lowering my standards or something like that? Because
no,
I'm not dating like the high powered.
Does he make you happy?
That. Yes, very
That's
much.
What matters. Does he fulfill your needs?
Yes.
That's what matters.
But in the superior conversation, mm-hmm. It's like, would I don't know. I just feel like, is it okay? Like how I'm dating is like, am I doing the right thing? Like it gets a little rough at times.
Right. Well, first off, people are going to feel how they're going to feel. People going to have their own opinions about stuff, especially people who not even in a relationship. They're going to be really opinionated. So those are the people who you definitely don't want to listen to, because it's like, you don't even have anyone. So you can't give me advice if you don't even have nobody. So I would say I would definitely tune them out, because misery loves company. They if they're alone, they want to see you alone.
That's so true.
Yeah, it's true.
It's really sad, actually.
It is sad. But I would say, just because you went to college or you got a ton of degrees, that don't make you no better than nobody else. Because at the end of the day, you can have 9 degrees and you can't find not one job with all them degrees.
No, I agree.
And then you got this entrepreneur who is just changing the game, just just making moves, successful, haven't even went to college, but making lots of money like they could have. That doesn't define someone because they went to school. That doesn't make them a better quality of a person because they went to college. No, it don't. I'm sorry. It
I
does.
agree. 100%. 100% agree.
Like my husband ain't never went to college. Well, he went to a technical school, but he didn't actually go to college. I don't judge that man on him going to college because truth be told, he got a lot more knowledge than people who has went to college.
Unless
So yeah, so it's like that don't mean anything. Some people just go to college because that's what their family wants them to do. They don't even want to go. They just go because somebody else wants them to go. That's the reason why I went, and then I quit because I'm like, this is not for me. I'm not going back to school no more. So the first time anyway, that's why I went. But yeah, I would say just keep people out your business. Don't be telling them stuff because people like to tell your business and that's why I don't tell nobody my business because people love to try to ruin it and break it apart. So
No, I agree. I'm trying to just focus on like how I see it. Like I feel like you, like I want to have the superior thing. Like I want, to get like you execute more in this entrepreneurial thing because sometimes you just think I have so many things in my head.
Me
And when
too.
you go to execute, you're just like, all right,
Right.
where do I start?
Right. That's why
I don't know how to do that. That's the hardest thing. I don't know how to do that. Half the time, I'm like,
I know. I feel you. I can relate, girl. I can relate, and that's why I have sometimes trouble dreaming because I can't shut my mind off.
Yes. It's like, okay, well, let me watch this 2-hour tutorial about how to do this one little thing. And I'm like, I suck. What am I doing? But
You're learning.
I kind of feel like, I want us to be equal in that sense. But I still want him to be more superior than me, in a way. Just because, like, when it comes to the children, I like to do I like the mothering part of it. Like, I really like, to just be a mom and like chill. But I also want to have that whole business thing, and I want someone to push me in that.
Me too. I want what you have, girl. I want what you want too. I mean, I said have. I want what you want too.
I was like, girl, I ain't got it yet, but
because I technically didn't get to, be a. I mean, I was a mom, but I didn't get to like be there when he was growing up because I was working 2-3 jobs. So when I have more kids, I want to actually be there. I want to homeschool them. I'm not giving them no formula. I'm breastfeeding. Like I'm doing everything different. Like when I have my future kids.
Well, girl, if they let you, this girl was over breastfeeding. He was like, one day she was just like, no, you see this bottle?
She's so cute.
Nope. I was like, well, I guess that's done.
Right.
And I was like, well, if I don't breastfeed, like I can't pump. I'm not going to make any milk. So
right.
That was like 7 months. That was good. But yeah, I think the superior part would have like a lot of different definitions, like depending on your life, because for you, when you have your next child and everything like that, the superior part that you're going to want your husband, so you're going to be a superior mom. He's going to be superior at bringing home the money so you can stay home and being a mom, right? Like, I think that always changes. And then as your baby gets older and you go back to, well, I mean, you'll probably always be working, but when you start working more, it'll switch over. Or depending on who your child picks, because sometimes they have favorites and maybe you have a boy and he really loves his dad. And there's just so many ways to go, you know.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. I think it's more of the person's perspective, you know, what they ultimately want.
Yeah, or think
what they feel is superior.
Yeah, exactly.
Because society can paint these pictures all day long, but really it's about what we want, what we feel it is. You know what I mean?
That's for sure. Because you look at people, like, I think, like, say, like, Nick Cannon or having all these babies. It's like, well, shoot, these women are all taken care of. These babies are all taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe they're both superior in that sense. The moms, they get to do that role and, you know, be that mom, and he.
Right. Hey, you get a celebrity child. Who knows? I don't know what they do. I don't know what they want, or girl, I didn't even know he had a whole bunch of kids.
I didn't either until they started coming back to back. I was like, whoa.
Right. Whoa.
Media blows that all the way up. I would have not known. Like, I read something today about Janae Ayoko's dad. How do you say her name? Yeah, they had the baby with Big Sean. How her dad just had his 9th child.
Jaheen Akiko or something like that. Her.
Yeah, her name is Janae something. Janae something or other. I don't know how to say her last name.
Jhene. Her.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay.
She just had her daughter. Like, I think I had a girl not too long ago. But her dad just had his 9th kid, and I'm like, dang. Like, why do I even know this? But, you know, I feel like say like her and Big Sean, they both are amazing artists.
Right. I love Jane.
Hard. Yeah,
I love Big Sean too.
Yes, both of them. I've loved him ever since he was like underground. And she has a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful voice.
Yes, she does. I love her music.
Yeah, she's very like true to who she is.
She is.
You know, but it's, you know, it's like, you know, when it comes to one of them being superior, it's just going to be like, well, what do I want to do? What do you want to do? That's a lot of like communication, you know?
Right.
It's very interesting. Like, someone has to, like, you really have to kind of be in sync.
Right. And like you said, maybe someone may have to take a backseat in order for one to thrive, and then get the next person up thriving, and then you're both superior.
Right. And if you don't mind taking a backseat, then who's to say that you're not making a superior decision?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because you're doing what you need to do for the family. It's all just good communication, lots of love,
compromising.
Yeah. That's what I hope for.
You gonna get it, girl. You gonna get it. If you haven't already.
This last one, no, I'm saying her dad, not so much.
Don't get me started on them.
Right, but it's, you know, without that, we're fine.
Right. Like, absolutely.
So yeah, absolutely. That's good. But this is very interesting. It's like to think about it. Actually, it's really like opened up my mind to think about this in different ways.
Yes, and hopefully this opens up the audience mind as well to not just go off of what you find on the internet or what society feels a superior man should be. What do you think it should be? That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, that's what matters.
That's all that matters.
Yes, thank you. I needed that.
You're welcome. I'm so happy that we got to get on here and discuss this. Thank you for being on here with me today, Sandra. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So what state are you in?
I'm in Illinois.
Oh, are you in one of what's up with this weather? What's going on?
Girl, we just got hit with that winter storm. I'm gonna tell you about it in just one second. So I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. So this was our episode 2 for our Ty the Natural Experience podcast. So thank you all for watching. Feel free to leave us some comments. If you have any topics that you would like us to discuss in the future, we will definitely write them down for later. So that is all we have today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to see y'all back on the next episode. Peace.